Hello, I am Nicole from Partying with Plants. Thank you so much for coming today. You must have a succulent terrarium kit from us that you would like to plant. So before we start our plant party, there's one item I would like for you to grab, is a spoon. So go ahead, pause the video, go grab a spoon. This will be your shovel for today's activity. And then come on back. Okay, so as you are opening up your terrarium kit, there's going to be a couple items that you will find, and let's go through everything. First, inside your kit, you will find an instruction sheet. You can set this aside, and we're going to go through these steps together. But we have so many different themed kits out there. So everybody has a picture card that goes with the theme of your kit. So we have a Zen terrarium, a driftwood and sea glass. Another popular one is our beach theme. Depending on the kit that you got, everybody will have a different picture card. Set that aside. But you also got a flyer that has pictures of cactuses on the bottom. This tells you how to keep your plants alive. The most important part. I'm going to give you a lesson today, but this is what you want to save. Because a month from now, you're going to be like, what did that plant lady say? This is what you want to save. Okay, so let's go through all of your supplies and kind of organize everything. As you take out all your supplies in your kit, everything is wrapped up in a piece of tissue paper. Use that tissue paper as a placemat to keep your desk nice and clean. As I'm going through this class, if you need to just pause the video, get caught up, and then hit play again. I'm going to try to go slow. Okay. Inside your kit, inside your vase, there's two items I would like for you to find. First is your little bag of activated charcoal. Tiny little black pebbles. Then also find your bag of Spanish moss. This is the taller bag. It's kind of gray, looks like hair. We're going to put those two items together on your placemat because we're going to use them together. Then inside your kit, depending on the theme of your terrarium, are little bags of reindeer moss. So you probably got a green. The Zen comes with some white. There's also blue. The rainbow kit has just a rainbow color of mosses. Whatever colors you have, put those together in a separate pile. We're going to use those towards the end for decoration. Everybody probably got a bag of gravel or rocks. The beach kit comes with some sand. Whatever you got, you can put that in a separate pile. Then some of our fun themed kits come with extra goodies, like the driftwood and sea glass. Comes with sea glass pieces and driftwood. The beach comes with some seashells and gems. Whatever other goodies you have, you can also put in a pile. But everybody should have found a surprise little miniature animal or character. This is just something fun to add to your garden. We have turtles, foxes, hedgehogs, Buddhas, frogs. There's so many different fun things out there. Then with your miniature is also a ladybug. Now ladybugs symbolize good luck. So we're sending you some good luck to keep those plants alive. Now the fun thing about your ladybug is there's actually a sticker on the back. So at the end, you could peel off that paper on your ladybug and stick your good luck charm wherever you would like. I like to put mine on the outside of the vase, like it's being sneaky and trying to climb in. You can stick your ladybug on one of your succulents or a rock, whatever you like. Okay, the best part is your little cactuses. So they are packaged up in your Dixie cup. So let's talk about your succulents. There is over 500 different species of cactuses and succulents out there. So your succulents have a really fun name. They are called hens and chicks. Hens and chicks are great indoor plants. They don't need a lot of maintenance. They're harder to kill. Best part. But these little plants have their fun name because everybody got a mama hen. In the spring, hens have chicks. So here's a mama hen, and she has 2 baby chicks. You never know how many chicks your mama hen is going to have. This little hen has about 8 different baby chicks on it. Hens and chicks will propagate every spring and have their babies. Once the babies get the size of like a dime, you can pick that plant off away from the mama hen and replant it in your terrarium. You can plant it outside. You can even make another little garden with your baby chicks. Okay? So hens and chicks are low maintenance plants. I want to give you 2 little tips. Because this is a type of cactus, they store their water in their leaves. So it's normal for that dirt root base to be dry. Now, how do we know when to water these little cactuses? Super easy. Because they store water in their leaves, if you just feel the leaves, it will give you an indication if your plant needs water or not. If the leaves feel really soft, maybe even have some wrinkles in them, you know your plant needs water. But as long as those leaves feel a little hard or firm, you're good to go. Now don't panic if by the time that you get your plants out, that those leaves feel a little soft. Well, from their shipping journey, that's okay. Now, your little succulents. The most important part is the middle. That's where it grows new leaves. As it grows new leaves in the middle, those bottom leaves will dry up and die off. So all of these brown, flaky, dried leaves are normal. You have not killed your plant. Okay? You can, if you have any of these leaves on your plants now, you can just pick them off to clean up your plant. While your cactuses are planted inside your vase, if you see those dried leaves, you can leave them on the plant, or you can take some tweezers and kind of just clean up your plant. Okay, let's talk more about your cactuses towards the end, because let's start partying and planting our garden. Okay, so step number 1 is to find that little bag of activated charcoal. Those little black pebbles. We're going to take this activated charcoal and dump it right into the bottom of our vase. Now we use activated charcoal because our vase doesn't have holes on the bottom. And so there's nowhere for that water to drain. As that water sits in here, we don't want it getting green and moldy on the sides. So activated charcoal helps absorb that mold. It also gives some nutrients to the soil and to your plants. Activated charcoal is found in a lot of pet stores because people use it in fish tanks to keep those fishies clean. There's even toothpaste nowadays that has activated charcoal in it. It's kind of cool. You can buy activated charcoal at any pet store, usually greenhouses and Etsy. You can buy it on Etsy. Okay. Step 2 is your bag of Spanish moss. This is the taller 2x3 size bag. Your gray Spanish moss. Now this stuff is really flaky. So when we open up this bag, I'm going to show you. It's best to just pull that clump of moss out from the bag right into the bottom of your vase, just in case any little flakes. All right, once I have the Spanish moss in here, I'm actually going to just pull it apart and make like a little bird's nest right in the middle. Now, we were using Spanish moss as a layer of drainage. Because our vase is not really tall, we're not using sand and gravel. I'm going to give you a watering trick. So this is all the drainage that you'll need. Now, your Spanish moss has been washed and cleaned. You never want to pick Spanish moss off of the trees and bring it indoors. So a lot in the South, like Georgia, you'll see beautiful Spanish moss just hanging from trees. Well, it has little bugs in it. So you always want to buy Spanish moss from a craft store because they've cleaned it. Because if you were ever told as a kid, sleep tight, don't let those bed bugs bite, that fun phrase came from Spanish moss. So back in the 1800s, people made their beds out of a wood frame and then layers of ropes. And in between all the ropes, they stuck Spanish moss. So as the phrase goes, sleep tight means every night you had to tighten up your ropes with a special tool, and then you hope the Spanish moss doesn't bite you all night long. So now that I creeped you out talking about bugs, let's play in the dirt. So at Partying with Plants, we are bug free. So I promise that you're not going to find any creepy crawlers in here. This is step 3. We are going to take our bag of soil and dump the whole bag nice and slow right on top of our Spanish moss. We want to cover all this Spanish moss. Okay. Nice and slow. Go ahead and dump that in there. So this is a combination of a lot of things. Your soil today is potting soil, peat moss, cactus soil, and more activated charcoal. Why all this special dirt combination? Well, that's actually really important for your cactuses. Just normal potting soil is not good for them. Cactus soil, peat moss, those don't hold moisture. Remember, these are a type of cactus, so they don't want to sit in a wet environment all day long. Okay? Once you have your dirt inside your vase, you can use your shovel or your hands, break up any clumps that you may have. Now my vase has a lot of dirt because I want to be able to show you on camera, so don't panic if your dirt is not as high as mine. Okay, before we do the fun part and plant our little cactuses, this is where your picture card comes in handy. So get that out. Now, your picture card kind of shows you some different ways that you can plant your cactuses. Whenever you create a terrarium or a fairy garden, your landscape is supposed to tell a story. So you get to create a landscape story with your cactuses and whatever supplies that you have left. Now, maybe I totally just stressed you out. That's okay. You can follow the picture and plant exactly what we did. Maybe you want to be creative. A couple ideas is to plant the cactuses in the middle, and then you can just decorate all around them. Some other people have actually separated their cactuses on either side of the vase, and then in between them, they've kind of make a walking path with their rocks or sand for their animals. You can create a Zen formation with your rocks, like a stacking. You can plant your cactuses all the way towards the back. It's okay if they touch the side of the vase. And that way you have more room up front to make a nice landscape. So while you think about your landscape design, I want to show you how to plant your little cactuses. Before we just plant them in the dirt, it's important to give them a massage. We actually need to massage that dirt root base. So you're going to take each plant and hold it over your vase and just give it a good little squeeze. You may have some extra dirt that falls inside. You may hear those roots kind of ripping. That's okay. I didn't do a lot. Now, if you're doing this and a leaf breaks off and falls inside your vase, that's okay. You just want to give it a little massage. Then you'll take each plant. You can use your spoon or your hands and make a little hole. But I'm just going to twist the cactus right in the dirt. So about 4 to 5 twists. Once I have it in there, and it's kind of sitting at the bottom of the dirt, so the plant is laying nice and flat, I'll push the dirt back around the plant so it's sitting nice and flat. Now, your cactus is going to be very shaky. Okay, that's normal. Couple days, those roots will start to spread and we'll be all happy. Got some Spanish moss poking up. Okay, so I'm going to do that for each plant. Take it and kind of give it a little massage. Twist the plant in there. Push the dirt back around. Now, if you can't get your plant to fit nice and flat the way that you like it, just take it out. Massage those roots a little bit more. Maybe make your hole a little bit bigger. Stick it back in there. You're not going to hurt the plant by taking it in and out and getting it to fit exactly how you like it. Now, if your plants are a little dirty inside those leaves, a lot of times that happens in shipment, do not blow inside your vase. It's not fun to get dirt in your eyes. Wait towards the end. When we water our cactuses, it will clean those leaves. This is a great time to pause the video, get caught up on getting your cactuses planted the way that you like, and then come back. Okay, so now we are ready to create our landscape design and add our decorations around our cactuses. So, the first thing I would like for you to do is to take whatever color bags of moss that you have and open it up and open the stuff on your placemat. This stuff is really cool. This is called reindeer moss. It's living. It's really soft and fluffy. It was dyed the fun colors that you have. It's naturally like a grayish color. It's not going to grow anymore, and it'll stay the shape, whatever you form it in, and keep its color. Okay, so this moss can sit right on top of your dirt. It can be touching your plants, or the moss can be sitting on top of rocks or sand. Okay. Now, before we start decorating, a few little tips. It's best if you do have a spoon, especially for people that have the beach kit or the Himalayan salt rock kit that comes with sand. If you have sand in your kit, first take your spoon and flatten your dirt all around your plants, because that will help your sand lay nice and flat on the dirt. If you have sand, you want to start with your sand first. You can cover all around your plants with sand, or you can just do half or little clumps. Pour your sand on your spoon, then use your spoon and get your sand exactly where you like without spilling sand inside your little plants. Now, for those that do not have sand and you have rocks and moss, you are welcome to start with the rocks or start with the moss. There's no right or wrong way. You can alternate, put a couple rocks in, add some moss. If you want, you can also put a rock on your spoon and then place that rock exactly where you want it. Now, as you're decorating, there are a lot of supplies. Hopefully we sent you enough. So don't be surprised if you have leftover rocks or moss. Save whatever you have left over for other houseplants. All right, so let's start decorating and creating our story. This is a great time to pause the video. Take your time and plant in peace. It's supposed to be therapeutic. And then come back and I'll have some fun tips for you. All right, so hopefully you have created your landscape design. I want to give you some fun tips. Now, if you have a kit that maybe has a river rock that is flatter, this is great to take out of your garden. Grab a Sharpie and write a little word of inspiration on your rock. You can leave that word of inspiration face up inside your garden so everybody sees your special message. Or you can turn it over and it's a secret message in your garden. All right, another tip for you. Hopefully you added some of this fun colored moss inside of your garden. Well, this moss is grown in Pennsylvania, comes in these big 50-pound boxes, and then we separate it into these little bags. It adds a lot of color to your garden, but it can also help your garden smell good because you can add essential oils right on top of this moss. So add a couple drops of maybe lavender, peppermint oil. That reindeer moss will hold that scent for about a day or two. And then it turns your nice little garden into a diffuser. Put this by your computer while you work. Oh. You can change up scents. I've kind of waited a couple days in between and changed up different scents. All right, another fun tip. For those of you that have a pet cat at home, maybe you have a feisty kitty cat who likes to dig in your houseplants. Well, good news. Your little cactuses are not poisonous to cats. But we want to keep your kitty out of your garden. So, easy way is that cats don't like the smell of coffee grounds mixed with dirt. So take some coffee grounds, just a little bit, and then stick it down in the dirt on the side of your vase. That should keep your feisty little kitty from digging up your houseplants. Now, if you have a family member or coworker that loves coffee, don't put coffee grounds in here because then they're going to steal your awesome garden. All right, guys. If you got the sea glass and driftwood kit, use sea glass pieces. If there's a flat piece, you could also use a Sharpie and write on. But your driftwood pieces come from a small business that we partner with in Puerto Rico. So Adele owns an Etsy shop where she sells sea glass and driftwood. Her and her son handpick it, so we love supporting their business. Like I said, your moss comes from Pennsylvania. Your sand, if you got the beach kit, your sand doesn't come from Florida. It comes from Lowe's. They have the best play sand, but we'll pretend it comes from Florida. But what does come from Florida is your seashells. So if you got a seashell in your kit, those come from beautiful Florida. All right, everything else in your kit comes from us in Ohio. So thanks for supporting our small business. Now, before we finish up, make sure you added in your miniature and your ladybug. But now let's talk about how to keep your plants alive. So first, on your little flyer, it says to water your succulents every 2 to 4 weeks. So even every 3 weeks is a perfect, good little rule. Set a reminder on your phone or your calendar every 3 weeks. It's watering day. Now, the easiest way to water these without overwatering and killing them is to save one of your Dixie cups. So these Dixie cups are 3 ounces. If you got one of our larger cups, then you don't want to use the whole cup. But if you got one of the small 3-ounce cups, 1 Dixie cup is enough for your cactuses. You're going to fill up 1 Dixie cup. Doesn't have to be any special water. Take your Dixie cup and slowly pour the water right on top of the cactuses. That will clean the leaves, because good clean leaves helps them absorb sunlight. But then that water runs down the leaves and gets to the roots. Now, cactuses and succulents are not like air plants. You cannot use a spray bottle and just mist them. They will die. So we need to make sure we get some water to the roots without overwatering them. If you keep this in a sunny spot, we'll get a lot of direct sunlight and you feel your leaves. Like, wow, I think 3 weeks may be too long in between. You may need to do 2 weeks. Okay, remember, feel your little cactus leaves. Your cactus will tell you if it needs water. All right, let's talk about sunlight. Because sunlight is more important to cactuses than water. These guys that need at least 4 to 6 hours of light a day. Okay. If you do not have a great windowsill that you can set this in, put it in a spot in your home or office that does have some good natural light coming in and good artificial light. So at least, I'd say definitely at least that 6 hours of light a day will be good for your plants. If you do put these in a windowsill, a good little tip is every watering day, after you water your little cactuses, rotate the vase in the window. That way your plant is getting sunlight to all sides. Believe it or not, these little cactuses can get sunburnt. Okay, so let's talk about another tip. I always get asked the question of, how soon will I have to replant these? Well, these little hens and chicks grow very slow indoors, which is awesome. But it really depends on how many baby chicks that you have. So if your mama hen has lots of baby chicks and, in the summer you want to pick them off, replant them somewhere else and keep your mama hens nice and small in here, then you won't have to replant them anytime soon. I have some customers that say after a year, they have finally picked all their chicks off and it's still going strong. Now, your little baby chicks, you can plant these indoors or outdoors in all zones. So we are in Ohio. I have some outside. In the winter, they go dormant. And then in the spring, they come back really fast, propagate, have lots of babies, and it's really cool. So these can grow indoors and outdoors. Our succulents will also change colors in different seasons. So you'll see a lot of dark red, purple, and green in our cactuses. So don't be alarmed if you see that. Obviously, black is bad. If you do have some of those soft succulents that are maybe taller and have like jelly bean leaves, those do better outside. They need lots of sunlight, lots of water. So a lot of people say that they have those indoors and they're wondering why they're dying. Well, they just need more attention and it's better outside. Okay. Anytime you have any questions about your cactuses, on your little flyer that tells you how to keep them alive also has the link to our Etsy store. You can send us a message right at our Etsy shop. Those messages come through like as a text message and we can respond right away. I hope you've had fun planting with me. Once again, I'm Nicole, the owner of Parting with Plants. I started this in 2016. So thank you so much for supporting my small business. I hope you enjoy your kit. Check out our Etsy shop for all of our terrariums, our fairy garden kits, and our Zen kits. I hope you enjoy your plants and I hope you have lots of little baby chicks. Thanks again.